In this video, we're going to be building a simple contact form using the JetFormBuilder plugin. It's a free plugin by the Crocoblock company, and you can just download it from WordPress.org. If you want more advanced options, you will need to get the Pro plugin. So once you've downloaded and installed JetFormBuilder, you can simply come, I'm going to close this, and you're going to see something like this on the left side, which says JetFormBuilder. Click on Forms. You're going to see we don't have any form yet. And there are different options. First, you can add a new form. You can import from JSON. You can generate with AI. And you can import from HTML. Now, we're going to start with import from HTML, and then we are going to work our way right to the end. So we're going to explore all these options. So if I come to Gemini and I see generate, whatever that is, generate the HTML code for a simple contact form, and it's going to take a while, and that is the code. I can just copy this, and if I come here, I click on import HTML, I'll just add that there, and I'll see pass HTML. You see we already have the form. That's the form. And if I click on create form, that's it. I'll just see a Gemini form. Let me name this Gemini form. So if I save that, and we want to come to and create a new page, and add that form to it. So I'm going to the back end of my website, go to dashboards, go to pages. And if I go to pages, this sample contact page, I'm going to edit with the Elementor. And I want to add a form here. First things first, let me just add a new container, Flexbox container, and another container inside. And then I'll look for form. And this is JetForm. I'll drag it here. And I want to pick Gemini form. So here it is. You can now go ahead to style, and you can style this as much as you want. Now, I have Jet Style Manager. That's why you see a lot of these styling options here. The second option is to come back to the JetForm plugins, JetFormBuilder, and want to generate with AI. So if I tell, click on generate with AI, and if I come back to Gemini, I will see generate the prompt for a consultation contact form for an audit website. So it's going to, all right. So you see, it's giving me this prompt. All right, I'll just copy this right up to here. Okay, these are sections. I'll say make it just one section. All right. I'll just copy this. Whatever this is, I'll copy that. I had a better prompt. Is this it? No, this is not it. I'm going to come here and I'll paste that there. I'll say generate. It will take some time. And you see, we have a form. It took less than 5 seconds. It took less than 5 seconds for us to have this form. And then I'll say create form with this template. Now you need to delete all of this. Delete all of this. I'll delete that. Oh, why is it? I'll just see AI form. Now you can see it even gives us a drop down. You may not be able to see it here, but if I save and go to the front end, let me just publish this. And if I reload this page, you can see if I click on AI form, that's it. Let's preview this on the front end. And then you can see we even have this drop down manufacturing technology and all that. But the one thing you notice is that there is no submit button. So you can simply come here, click on this plus button and search for submit. And this is it, action button. So that's it there. Now, and just save. When I reload this page, you now see the submit button. So that's the way to build a form using AI, an AI generated form on JetFormBuilder. Let's go now back to the back end of our website, and I'll just close this. If I come now back to forms, I want to add a new form. Now, I want to build this. Let's go back. Let's click on forms. Now I want to add new. I'm going to leave this. It's very similar to this, but the difference is that it's just JSON. I'm going to click on add new form, and you can see I'll name this manual form. You can see we have a couple of options here. We can just add a contact form template or feedback form or newsletter sign up. All of these are templates. For these, you can't use them unless you have for JetFormBuilder Pro. If I click on this, you see it already gives me email, subject, and message. So we can just proceed. Fortunately, I did this and publish this, and then you can go and view it on the front end. But we don't want to do this. We want to learn how to do this by ourselves. I'll delete all of this, delete this, and then want to start from scratch. I'll click on this plus button, and it gives me the options which I can use for this form. Mind you, it's best when creating a form in JetFormBuilder to use these particular items that have field at the end. All these other ones, like you see conditional logic, these are ones which you can use in the form. But when you want to collect data, use all of these which have field at the end. Then you see dynamic field, all of these. They may not, it's a bit difficult to represent this on your form when you are still a beginner. So the first thing we want to do is that I want to add, let's say, an input field for name, and it's going to be a text field. I'll drag it and add it here above this. So when you've added the first field here, if you want to add another field, you can just come here and you see this plus button. So I can see first name, and then I can also add another text field again and say last name. Now you see we have first name and last name, but I don't like the fact that it stretches right to the end of this particular page. It's too big. So I want to have two fields on the same line. So what do I need to do? I need to add a column. So you can just search for column if you don't see it right off the bat. And then you can choose the number of columns it should have. I'll choose this 50-50. I can just drag the first name and put in the first column, drag the second name and put in the second column. And I can now add another column. And then I want to have email address and phone number. So I'll look for, click there, a text field, and I want this to be email address. And this, another text field, I want it to be phone number. Another text field again, another column rather. And then I'll see revenue, or let's say city. What am I doing? This is going to be a select field. So it's going to be a list of elements which the person can select from. So I'm going to search for select. So select field. And then I'm going to see city. Let's say we have just a couple of cities where we do our work, and we are going to add the items manually. If you had already built, let's say, custom post types and with meta fields, you could just choose them from here. Let's say you had a list of cities in your meta fields as a meta field in your custom post type. You could choose it from here, or maybe from your taxonomies or from a glossary. If you want to learn how to use glossaries, I have a video on my channel all about glossaries. Please go find that out. But we are going to enter this manually. So the first one is going to be, let's see, Douala. I'll paste that here. The next is going to be, let's see, Nairobi. I've already done this before. That's why you see it. You have to type them yourself. And then you see New York. New York. I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste that. So we have just 4 cities where we operate. I'm going to update that. And I'm going to, right here, I'm going to ask for, let's see, revenue. Oh, sorry, checkbox. In this case, they need to tick and not just select. I'll see annual revenue. And we're going to enter this manually. Here, I'm going to say above $1 million. I'll add the same thing here. And then here, I'm going to say below $1 million. I'll copy that. So then we can add the text area where they're going to write their message. For this, we can either use the text area field or we can use the WYSIWYG. What's the difference? You see, this is a text area field. So it's just a plain field. It's just just a write message. That's all. So it's just a text field. But the WYSIWYG is more sophisticated, which means they have the opportunity to add some styling. Let me look for WYSIWYG. So here they can style, they can write a message like this and make it bold. You can also write this and make it italicized. So we can't see it from here, we can only see it from the front. But I think for professionality, we should use this. We don't want people writing very abstract stuff. So these are the forms. You can go ahead and add as much as you want. Let's just add another column and add a date and a time field. So here I want to see date. There are 2. You have the date field and you have date time. And I think there's even an advanced date. So we'll just use this date field and see, we see date of appointment. So they choose their date. They want to come for an appointment. And then here, I'm going to search for time. And there is advanced time field. I can use that and I'll see appointment time. And this is the button. So these are what we have. You can go ahead and save. Now for each of these, we want to check. Click on each of these and you want to check the form field name. I think that's okay. You can also check the field type, which is a text. You can add autocomplete to the name so that they start text typing their name. It autocompletes. You can give a maximum length, which is, let's say, 25. Your name should not be more than 25 characters. And then come to advanced, you can add a placeholder and say, what's your name? Or say your first name. And then there is also a place for description. Where is that? Field description. And you can see, write your first name clearly. You can see that is it down there. And you can do the same for all of this. So for this, we're going to do the same. Come, autocomplete on max 25. Placeholder. You can see last name. And then email address. Make sure the type should be email. Field type should be email. And then you can add the placeholder and all that. For the phone number, the field type should be tel. That's phone number. And then you come to city. You can do the same here. City, field description. You can write the description there. And then the placeholder. What's your city? So you have the placeholder there. You can disable placeholder. The visibility should be for all. Same with this. When it comes to write message, you come down, maximum length, let's say not more than 1000 characters. Come to advanced. Placeholder, I'll just leave that. Appointment date. You can use timestamps here. I will not bother much about that. Appointment time. Same thing, you can use save as a timestamp. Date, you can save as, okay, it already has this to select if it's a timestamp, and then make sure to save that. Now, this is very important. Go to JetForm tab, and then you see it's already giving us the option for send email. So you can add post submit actions when the client or the user submits a form. What is it that should happen? This is where you set all of that up. I'm going to click on this. It already gives us by default mail to email from submitted form field, mail from let's just see mail from email address. So uses the email address provided by the user in the form. To apply multiple email addresses, you can select a checkbox field or select field in multiple options. So you must set this. Let's set it to email address, and then here reply to admin. So this is going to send an email to admin, and then you can say subject. You can use form field macros. So this is one of the macros. From name, you can also use macros like, let's say, first name. It's always this name, let's say first name, first underscore name, and then percentage again. From email address, you can see email, or you can just click on this tool here and see email address. That's it, you've picked that. And then content type, you can either make it plain text or HTML. If you're doing HTML, then you have to write the code. And then the content, you have the message there. So you can use this if we're using, I'll come back to Gemini and see, I'll put that. I say that's the message macro on JetFormBuilder. Generate a beautiful but brief message in HTML format. And you see it's going to give us, so you're going to see, you see the macro here. So if I copy that, option 2, these are 2 options. I'll use the first option. I'll just paste this here since we choose HTML. And then we can choose this, that I'll just leave it the way it is. And then you can also save form record. Make sure to save form record. There are also other actions. Take, for example, you want to add this person to your email campaign using MailChimp, you can do that. If you're using another email provider, you can use webhooks. Now we are just saving form record. You can also add a redirect. So they should be redirected to a static page. Let's say the home page. And we leave all of this the way they are. And we just publish. Now, if I go to the front of my website, I want to choose that particular form which we used here. And if I come to this form, I want to select that's manual form. Okay, now you see it, but it's really not looking very good. It's really not looking very good. I don't know. I'll remove this particular one. I want to delete this and just put a simple date or a time, not advanced time. Time, boost time. All right, I'll leave that as it is. So we can style this because I have Jet Style Manager installed. So gap before, you can increase the gap before. So you can make them really spaced out. I'll just leave it at, let's say, 5. Gap after, you can space that too. For label, I want this to be DM Sans. DM Sans. When I select that, you see it changes. And I want it to be, let's say, 15. And I want it to be 500. And if I come down to description, I'll leave that the way it is. If I come to input fields, this is my area of interest. I want this to be DM Sans still. So you see affects the placeholders. And then we want to make the borders. We want to make the border to be solid. So, and we want the color to be, you can make it red, you can make it black, and then the width should be 1. I want to make this a little bit fainter so that it's not distracting. And you calculated fields, range fields, heading, repeater, all of this. You can check all of these. The submit button, we can come down here, unless you can turn the background to be black and the text color white, of course. Typography, DM Sans, and then the padding, let's say 20 here, and then left and right 50. So if we publish that, and then we want to preview this on the front end, you see this is what we have. So if you just fill this and whatever, let's say yes at gmail.com, phone number 12345678990, city, let's say Nairobi, use this. I want you to work for me. I've got moolah, which is money. Let's say you choose your time, 31st, choose date, 9 or date and time, and you submit. You see redirects you to the home page. Now let's go and check our records to see if the form record has actually been recorded. Let's go to JetFormBuilder, look for form records. This is it. This is it. This is it. Today it's 10:44 by my time. So this is our record. And if I click to view, I've got moolah. So that's what I wrote. So we see it is registered. But for you to actually have outbound messages, you need to set up SMTP on your website. So in a nutshell, that is how to use JetFormBuilder to build a simple a contact form. In a future tutorial, I'm going to show you how to use it to build more complex forms like calculated forms, user registration, and all that. But in the meantime, if you got any value out of this video, please subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell, and make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions. God bless you. Peace.